Raw and Nerdy.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Raw and Nerdy. This is episode number 77. I am Joe the Widget, and I am joined by my fellow super nerds, starting with Mr. Rook.
What's up, everybody? It's been a long week. I'm in a lot of pain. Let's get to it.
We'll get into that later. And we are joined, as always, by Archon.
What's up, everybody? It's been a big week in gaming, so I'm really excited to talk about this. So let's go.
And this is take number 3 because I had a lot of technical difficulties. And what happened was last week I was getting into Avowed last weekend, and it said, you might want to consider updating your drivers because your processor is out of date. So I said, okay, fine. So I flashed my motherboard to update the drivers. Well, it crashed everything, and I could not get into my computer at all. It failed boot. So I had to completely reinstall Windows from scratch, and I forgot to do the software, reinstall all my recording stuff and all my drivers for my recording until just before the show. So we're starting a little bit late, and it's my fault. But we're here, and we didn't record last weekend because it was Easter Sunday, and we were out with our families. So tonight, we're going to talk about a lot of other goodies. We're going to talk about the Nintendo Switch, our second console in the Gen 8 in our Gaming Through the Ages. And we're going to do PlayStation 5 next week. And we should be going into PC gaming and handheld gaming. And that will pretty much wrap up that entire series.
Mm-hmm.
Been a long journey.
Yep. We got a couple interesting little topics as well. And let's just talk about our weeks. Just dive in.
Yeah.
I will start since I had the least entertaining couple of weeks. Oh, as most everybody knows, I work nights, so I don't have a life during the week. But I really need to start listening to my body more because I'm in a lot of pain right now.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So I was at the gym working out, doing my thing, and wasn't listening to my body. And last week, the week before last, didn't hurt too bad. It was just tightness in both my arms because I was actually working up my chest and figured that's what it was. But last week, I got tightness in my leg, which hurt, but that cleared up. Then I got done working out Thursday. And as I was working out Thursday, I was doing, I forgot what workouts I was doing, but my shoulder started hurting a lot. And it was terrible Thursday at work. Went to urgent care Friday and found out that in my shoulder and upper arm, I have inflamed tendons. Those inflamed tendons are pushing on one of my nerves, which is causing my right index finger and thumb to tingle quite often. And so I'm in a lot of pain right now because I can't take my painkillers until later tonight.
Oof.
But
Shoulder pain sucks. I know well about that.
Yeah, it's right. It's right on the forward end of my shoulder, but luckily there's no damage to anything up there. It's just literally inflamed. But
that's good. There's nothing damaged. It means it'll heal.
As soon as you started describing it to me, I was like, "Oh, that sounds an awful lot like a pinched nerve." That sucks.
Yeah. And it sucks because I got great feeling in my other 3 fingers, but those first 2 just feel a little off.
Yeah.
But I played Oblivion. I downloaded it and played it. Oh my God, that was an amazing update. It is the first truly remastered game that I've actually enjoyed because they took the game and made it 1 million times better.
So that's what they need to do. All these game companies would make an absolute fortune by taking all these great games, like these masterpieces from the past, and then just update the graphics to modern.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
do that, you'll have award-winning, massively multi-million-dollar sales games, and it's all you need is an art team.
Right, Bethesda. While you're at it, give us a remaster of Fallout 3. That'd be amazing. Or give us Morrowind now because Oblivion made me want Morrowind.
I mean, they put it into the Unreal Engine 5, which is a beautiful thing that I see. Mm-hmm. My computer's running it on medium graphics because it is a 4-year-old computer. So, but it's amazing with how beautiful it looks, even on medium settings.
Yeah, I'm running it on medium as well. I think my computer could probably do for a whole hard reset, reinstall Windows, start from scratch, because I have a very good graphics card and I have 60 gigs of RAM, so there's no reason I should be only running it on medium. But if I turn it up, lag city.
I have
So
it on ultra, and it is working flawlessly.
yeah, I feel like my computer with everything with the hardware I have, I should be able to run it on ultra, but it doesn't want to do it. Plus, I think I might be able to get the graphics settings up quite a bit if I install it directly to the hard drive instead of on my little external hard drive. I think that's probably what's slowing it down quite a bit.
Yeah, you
And
generally
I've had
don't
quite a
want to
few
do that.
crashes. But in true Bethesda fashion, since we're talking about it anyway, they just said, "Hey, we're going to announce something tomorrow." Then tomorrow came and they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we completely remastered Oblivion. All the rumors are true." And it comes out today. Like,
Yeah.
who is in charge of their marketing team? Come on, people. You don't announce
But
a game the same day you release it.
the news that makes me even like Bethesda more in this regard is the Sky Oblivion team that was making Oblivion and Skyrim. They gave them the keys to the game, so they can remaster and all the mods and stuff they want to do.
But they
As a hey, we know you're working hard on Sky Oblivion. Here's this.
But they've been doing the same thing with Starfield. They're like, "Oh, we're not going to say a word. We're not going to say a word. Oh yeah, we're going to announce this big patch with all these new changes and it comes out in an hour." Like,
Yeah, keep
That
your
hire a marketing team because your marketing team sucks. Like, you don't do that. You let people know, "Hey, this game's coming out. Get them excited for it."
it makes it
Not
very
just
difficult
like,
for people like us who are in the media trying to, create
right.
content based on some of the stuff that they do. And when you don't give us any kind of bone whatsoever, we're sitting here starving for months and months and months.
And then you just like shadow drop it, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, not only are we going to announce this game today, but we're going to make it available today, and we're going to put it on Game Pass for free." Like, okay, thanks.
And I was in San Diego and I couldn't get home to play it until Friday. And then I got sick.
Yeah, I
Hey,
didn't get it installed until Friday.
being sick is the perfect time for gaming because then you don't get asked to do a bunch of other stuff because you're sick and miserable. So you just sit in your chair and you play games and
But
have
see,
fun.
we're guys. When we're sick, we're tortured by the sickness.
Oh, the man flu, yeah, the man flu is the real deal. It's a real thing. It's a real
Right
thing.
before the
But I
show,
can
I
I
was
can
actually
I can
laying in
sit
my
in a
chair
gaming.
on the living room just snoozing away.
I can
Thankfully, I
sit
woke
in a.
up.
There's been very very few times where I've been just too sick to even sit here and play a game. Like there have been a few times when I've been in bed and if I had like a console in my room I could play it, but like I was not getting out of bed.
But besides that, Easter happened.
It did?
I don't have a family, so being single in that regard sucks. So it was a rough weekend for me. But talked to a couple of friends. I'm good to go.
He says,
Otherwise,
"I do not have a family," then turns around and says, "Hey bro, thanks for bringing me a cheeseburger because I live with my brother." You have a family.
no, not in that regard. I have my brother. Obviously, he's really the only family I have in the area.
Hey, listen,
But
I invited you to come up. I welcomed you to my table. You
that is
chose
too
not
far.
to drive all the way from Texas to Michigan, sir. That was a choice you made.
Yes. That was a choice I made. By the way, in Oblivion, you can get a free castle early in the game.
Yeah, I saw your little.
Hey, kid.
I
showed us
verified
that.
it works.
Yeah, he told me all about it earlier.
Unfortunately,
I don't know.
all of the additional things to make it a full blown castle are 2,777 gold each.
Yeah. Chump change.
So, who's next?
I was in San Diego all week for training, and the first day of training, on Tuesday, the first real day of training, it was nothing but a indoctrination attempt into a certain political party that shall not be named, and it was miserable. And I made up excuses the entire time that I had to go work, so I got to avoid most of it. But then we did an escape room after that. And this training and team building thing was IT and data together, the data team and IT. So we had
Makes
split
sense.
IT team into our own group, and we did an escape room, and the data team did their own room. We took one guy from data because their team was too big. We wound up only one other person has ever done an escape room before, and he was on our team as well. I've done maybe close to 20 of them. We got in there, expectations were low. We did this like fairy tale themed room. We wound up beating it with 35 seconds remaining on the clock
Nice.
for the 1 hour time frame. Data team, not even close.
Did Data Team even beat it?
No, no, they did not get close. They said that they had like 4 or 5 puzzles still left before they were out.
You know why, right? IT actually has to know how to solve problems.
Yep. And we communicated extremely well to the entire process. So that was a
Which
big
is
deal.
unusual for tech support.
Our team communicates religiously. We have to, how we structure our IT. But then the next day, they actually brought in a professional profiling company. So they had us do this exam for 2 hours one day, this personality exam. And they did this whole profile dossier on each one of us. And they talked about it and who we were. And mine was scary, scary accurate. And one of the things that he highlighted a lot in front of my bosses was Joe is a leader. Utilize that. It was very interesting and yeah, kind of crazy because I know a couple people in data and IT really, really well, and it matched up to them perfectly. It was scary. Then I did download and start playing Oblivion. I'm only level 3, but I'm playing my sneaky archer, and I've only played Oblivion once before, and that was for like 2 hours 10 years ago. So it's
already further.
Yeah, it's playing a whole new. It's a whole new game for me.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a whole new game for a lot of people who haven't.
I
really
played it quite a. I don't think I ever beat it, but I got quite a ways into it when it first came out. However many years, 20 years ago or whatever. But I haven't touched it since, so it's basically a whole new game for me too.
Nice. And I did get pretty sick this weekend, so please excuse my voice. It's not as terrible as it was earlier, but I'm suffering a little bit. And thankfully, I don't have any travel plans for a month.
Well, I am not suffering in any way, shape, or form at the moment, so I'm the odd man out here because I got no aches and pains. I got no sicknesses. I have not been sick since I started working out, which is very unusual for me because I used to get sick a lot, but since I started working out and eating healthier and stuff, I have not gotten sick, which is good. Knock on wood. I actually have for almost 2 weeks now. My stepson has been like crazy sick, and I haven't caught anything. And I usually catch everything that comes into this house. So I don't know. Maybe I'm doing good things toward my immune system. But yeah, I have been getting ready to go back to work. I go back to work on Thursday. It's going to be a big adjustment because I'm going to be gone all the time and have no free time anymore. Probably working like 12-hour days again. But
sounds like me.
Yeah, but I still am planning on keeping my workouts as part of my routine. Just going to have to get up really early to do it because there's no way I'm going to want to do it once I get home.
Welcome to my world.
And I've been just like eating up all these releases this week. The first one was RuneScape Dragon Wilds. That came out. I hadn't even heard of it, and all of a sudden it came out, and I was like, "Hey, what's this?" And I took a look at it because I used to be
technically
interested
it's
in
still
old
early
school
release.
RuneScape. Yeah, it is, but the way I look at early release is just the game if it's playable, the game is out, and I just get a lot of patches for the first year or so because a lot more content, and it's still a game, it's still playable, it's still it's like. You can call it early release if you want, but it's no different than if they just came out with a game like Starfield and then came out with like 4 or 5 patches over the course of a year. It's the same thing. They're all buggy. Every game is buggy.
They call it early access, but is the typical way they're doing things now is release the game and then start getting feedback to start patching it immediately.
Right. It's like I said, even the full release games are still just as buggy as the early release ones. So
yeah, some even more so.
Exactly. But RuneScape Dragon Wilds it's kind of a like exploration, open world, survival type game, like a lot of the games that we've been playing that we really enjoy, like Enshrouded.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a ton of fun. I've had a blast playing it. I haven't beaten it yet. I've heard some people say that they can beat the whole thing in like a day or two, but like I've been playing it for days, and I'm not even close to the end. So, I don't know. I'm having a good time with it. But I've also I jumped on the Oblivion bandwagon the second it popped up. I was the one that was like, "Hey guys, Oblivion, let's play." I've been having a lot of fun with that. I just today joined the Dark Brotherhood and started assassinating people, which is the best thing ever. I
I'm
love
so
it.
happy they had that in that game. In that game too, it was one of my favorite things about
So much
Skyrim
fun.
was the Dark Brotherhood series.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I saw you
I
guys
got
on Discord last night, and I wanted to join you, but right when I noticed you guys were on, my lady and I started watching Ninja Turtles, the 1990 movie. She's never seen it before,
Ah,
so we had to watch that.
But yeah, so I've been playing that. I've still been playing a lot of EverQuest. Getting ready for the next big super expansion that's dropping here in a couple weeks. But for the most part, it's been mostly Oblivion. There was another big game that came out this week that is also free on Game Pass called Expedition 33 that has been getting insanely good reviews. It looks like it's more of like a turn-based RPG, but people have been saying it's so good, but I just don't have time. There's just so much going on. I haven't had time to check it out, but I've seen a few videos and stuff on it and it looks really good, but I just got to have time to get to it. Got too many games on my plate at the moment, so
Yeah, I know that feeling. I gotta play Avowed still.
yeah.
The Nintendo Switch. It's the Nintendo's Generation 8 console. They're getting ready to release their first Gen 9 console pretty soon. In June, I think, right? For Switch 2?
Yeah.
Yep. It released March 3rd, 2017, with the original price tag of $299.99, which was a lot cheaper than the PlayStation and Xbox at the time. And then they released the Switch Lite, which was a non-dock version, so just their regular handheld, September 20th, 2019. I think that was like $100 cheaper.
Yeah, it was cheaper. The Joy-Cons don't come off. It's just kind of a single player Switch for the most part, unless
Right.
you're playing online.
The concept of the Switch came about as Nintendo's reaction to financial losses attributed to poor sales of the Wii U. We talked about that. And market competition for mobile games. Nintendo's then president, so I can never pronounce his name, Satoru Iwata, pushed the company towards mobile gaming and more novel hardware. The Switch's design was aimed at a wide demographic of players through multiple modes of use. So they kind of wanted to combine the idea of the Wii with their handhelds.
Yeah, it's definitely a niche system. I like it because you can just take it anywhere you want and play it on the go. Um, or you can play it right on your TV. It's all just like a self-contained unit. Obviously, the graphics are nowhere near the quality of like PlayStation or Xbox, but just the mobility of it and being able to bring your games with you, like if you're, traveling in on a flight, or like I brought mine down when we were driving down to Florida, like when it wasn't my turn to drive, I had something to do. Like it, it's nice. I mean, you can't contain that kind of power in a handheld and expect much battery life. So, as we're
Yeah.
seeing from the Switch 2,
yeah.
as they're trying to put more power into it and people are complaining that the battery life sucks. So,
Like you said, you have to pick your poison. Do you want bad graphics, long battery life, or an 8 to 9 hour battery life, but a lot better graphics? I mean, not everybody can run. So I got a Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. I can play Xbox games on that and not kill my battery really quickly. But even with the power on that phone and the draining of the battery, it still dies faster than normal. So
oh yeah.
you're going to lose power with ultimate graphics.
Yeah, I will use my phone sometimes and connect it to the Xbox Game Pass cloud thing and play on there too. And it'll go, yeah, your battery goes significantly faster than if you weren't playing games for sure.
But it is weird hooking up my phone to I forgot what they call it, the backbone, and playing Madden 24 on it.
Yeah, stupid Apple. I can't use my backbone anymore. It makes me mad. Because my backbone is an iPhone one, and it was set up with a lightning adapter, and now the iPhone doesn't have a lightning adapter anymore. It's got the USB-C, so now my backbone will not connect to my phone anymore.
Oh, that's no fun.
No, but I can connect like a PS5 controller Bluetooth to my phone, and it works just fine. So
Well, that's a plus thing.
So you guys got
Switch.
some top 10 lists?
We do.
We do.
I got 11. I don't have 12
I
this
have
time. I have
0,
11.
so it's all you guys.
I have exactly 10 because I only play 10 games on it. Well, technically, I play about 15 or 16 games on it, but a bunch of them are on the Super Nintendo emulator system they have on there. So, shall I go
You
first?
know
Or do
what?
you want to go
Actually,
first?
I do have 12. I do have 12, so
You
I
want to
don't
go
care.
first?
Sure. All right, so I got 2 honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1 is the Castlevania Legacy Collection. It's got all the Castlevania games like ever made in one game, which is really sweet because those are all really, really fun games. I play a lot of the original 1, 2, and 3. I'm a glutton for punishment, so yes, I do play Simon's Quest number 2. That game is ridiculous, but it's fun. My second honorable mention is Dragon Quest Builders 2. I think I mentioned that maybe on another system, but
You
like,
mentioned it. You didn't mention it on any of the systems we're talking here, but you did mention playing it on a previous episode way back when.
right. It is a really fun Switch game. It's kind of like a regular Dragon Quest RPG meets Minecraft because you have to like build up your own towns and go mine blocks and bring them back and use them, and I don't know, it's really cool. My number 10. You'll notice a theme with my list here. I have a lot of official licensed Nintendo games on this because I do like a lot of them. My number 10 is Super Mario Maker 2. There's something about those 2 games that just it was a brilliant idea. Like being able to build your own Mario levels is a brilliant idea.
Dude, I see reels of people running through some insane stuff built in those.
You can make some of the hardest levels like that would just give you like I saw one that was like all those little, those little lava thing, like little lava balls that are in a line and they go around in a circle. And there was like a million of those on the level, and like it just gives you anxiety watching somebody play through some of these levels. You're just like, how? What?
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing this? You are a freak of nature. Anyway, number 9. This is a game that's actually on a lot of different platforms, but I've played it the most on the Switch because I play it when I go places, and that's Stardew Valley. Love Stardew Valley. Just a simple RPG game where you can build your little farm and do everything else in the world and get married and everything, but it's so much fun. So many hours into that game. Number 8, Animal Crossing New Horizons. It's the Switch version of Animal Crossing, and they did a really good job with it. It's got some new features that some of the other ones didn't have in it, and it's just a lot of fun. Number 7, because it had to be on my list, Super Mario RPG Remastered.
Of course.
Of course. One of my favorite games of all time, and the remaster is actually really, really good. It adds some really good features to the game, and I really, really like what they did with it.
Is it Oblivion level good?
Graphically, not
of course
really.
not.
I mean, it's definitely better, way better graphics than the Super Nintendo. But number 6 is Pokemon Legends Arceus. Probably my favorite Pokemon game out of all of them. I just like the open world style of it and how it's not the same thing as every other Pokemon game. It's like Pokemon, I'm going to get some hate for this, but Pokemon reminds me of Call of Duty. It's like every time they come out with a new game, it's just basically a new map with the same game, which is just Pokemon. It's like, oh, you're a kid and you start in a village and you have to you got to choose between 3 Pokemon, and then you battle your rival throughout the whole game and beat 6 gyms and then go become the Pokemon Master. That's literally the plot of every single Pokemon game except for Legends. Legends actually has a story and has a plot, and you go through and you don't have to go to all the gyms, and like it has a plot.
I will have some feedback on that on my list.
Number 5 is Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
I have yet to play that one still.
It is a phenomenal game.
When
Number
I do
4,
eventually get a Switch, Zelda is the reason why I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But Tears of the Kingdom and
Breath of the
Wild are too. But I also want to get the Switch Sports. I think my
Wii
lady and I
Sports is great.
have a ton of fun with bowling and badminton and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, the Wii Sports for the Switch is actually really good. My number 4 is Super Mario Odyssey. Probably one of like besides RPG, obviously, but like out of the like regular sandbox Mario's, Odyssey's probably one of my favorites. It's really really good. They did a really good job with it. The different levels, like the levels are actually a lot different. Like there's one that's like you're in a city, like a real city with cars and everything. So I mean, it's really well done. Number 3, Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It should be on everybody's list. It's probably one of the best games on the Switch. It's so good. It's a fun family game. It's fun to play with friends. It's the best party game, even better than Mario Party. It's great.
I don't know. I like Mario
Mhm.
Party very much. Just the concept of it.
Yeah, the newer ones aren't as good as the older ones though. Like the one on Switch, it was okay, but it wasn't like I didn't get the replay value out of it as I did on the Nintendo 64 for sure. Number 2 is Metroid Dread. I've talked about this game before on the show as well, and it is so good. It reminds me so much of old school Super Metroid. It's got the side scroller element. It's so good the way they made it. I like this type of Metroid 100 times better than the Metroid Prime series. I hated that they took Metroid and made it a first person shooter type game. This was Metroid for me, and I'm really glad that they made a new one like that, and I hope they keep doing it because they're so good. And then the number 1 on my list, the game that every single person who owns a Switch needs to play, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Hands down one of the best games I've ever played. It will always be in my top 10 list of best games ever played. It's so good. The
It has to
story's
be.
good. I mean, Tears of the Kingdom was good, but I don't think it was as good as Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild just Tears of the Kingdom just tried to copy Breath of the Wild and add new things, but it wasn't as good of a game. It was more glitchy than Breath of the Wild was. Breath of the Wild was just Switch perfection.
All right, so we'll get into my list. And I did something a little bit different. I did my top 10 list, but I also went through Metacritic's top games and put where they ranked each of these games.
Oh, I did that on mine too. I just didn't say.
All right, so I do have one honorable mention. I forgot a Pokemon game.
Okay.
Pokemon Violet is my honorable mention, and I'm going to lay into Nintendo and Pokemon so bad right now.
Oh
So
boy, here we go.
originally, in the Pokemon games, when they were on the Game Boy systems, you could sit there and your rival would pick your weakness and actually make it a challenge for you. Nowadays, your rival picks the Pokemon that's weak to yours.
Yeah.
And it's made it so cheesy of a game because now you're not giving anything to strive to these younger kids that play the game to want to get better because you're going to easily beat your opponent.
To be fair, like after the first time you fight your rival, you go out and catch something that's gonna beat his Charmander anyway. Like you go out
Yeah,
and catch yourself a Squirtle or something, or catch yourself a
but
different type of water Pokemon. Like
Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, they were your rival was actually really strong when you faced him at the end of the game. He wasn't a
yeah,
pushover like it is in these games.
yeah.
All right, so Pokemon Violet is my honorable mention, and it was ranked 1,289.
Oof.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2
That's a
is
good
my
one.
10. It was ranked 279. Mario Kart 8 made the list because I still played that to this day.
So do I.
It was 19th on the list. Mortal Kombat 11, and the reason why I got that game is I was overseas as a contractor in
Oh,
Iraq, ordered one, had it shipped out there,
oh.
and me and my buddies, me and my guys I was there with, when we weren't working on aircraft, we were sitting there playing Mortal Kombat 11 using Johnny Cage to make a puppet out of whoever you beat.
I can't believe that game made your list simply because that game is wildly, wildly renowned for the fact that it is so terrible on the Switch compared to every other system it came out on.
To be honest, I've never played it on any other system.
Oh,
You're missing out.
But it made the top 100 for the Switch at number 78. Then I put on here one game from the Super Nintendo catalog they have. Breath of Fire 2, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Number 6 is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, because they took a lot of the elements from the newer Pokemon games and threw them back into the story arc of one and red and blue. Actually, Pokemon Yellow, technically.
I forgot that was on Switch.
It was ranked 602.
Yeah, that was a good one. I really liked that. Like you could take, like if you played Pokemon Go, you could take your Pokemon from Pokemon Go and import them into the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee game.
Yeah, and actually, anything you get in there through the Pokemon Home that they have, you can transfer them. If the Pokemon are in the newer games, you can transfer them to the newer games. Number 5, I could not find on Metacritic, and when I went to the individual page for this game, it wasn't even listed as a Switch-rated game. XCOM 2.
That's
I
on
have
Switch?
it. Yeah, it's on everything. Actually, the first time I played XCOM 2 was on the Switch. And then I started playing it on, forgot what platform it was. Number 4 is Pokemon Sword. That was one of the better, newer games. That is number 80. And then number 3, my all-time favorite series on all of the Nintendo systems since it came out, Smash Brothers Ultimate. I don't know why. I just love the way that the fighting is going in that game. And that was number 13. Number 2 is Pokemon Arceus, and same reasons you like it. It's a completely new take on the game. They tell the story of how they do their Pokeballs and stuff like that, and explain it at one of the few games that actually explains how it mostly somewhat works. Number 286 on Metacritic, and number 1 is where we agree.
Breath of the Wild.
And we agree with Metacritic. Breath of the Wild is number one everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. It's so good. And I mean, Tears of the Kingdom's number 4 on Metacritic as well. I mean, they're both good games. Breath of the Wild's just better.
It is. I enjoy it. It's one of the few games that if you really want to see defeat really early in the game, you can fight Ganondorf really early in the game.
Yeah. I mean,
I want to play Tears of the Kingdom just because of the creative mechanics of it.
Yeah, it's a great game. It is a great game, but I highly, highly, highly recommend playing Breath of the Wild first.
Yeah, it is actually.
I would do Breath of the Wild first because it is a sequel. It would be like, I don't know. I guess I don't know a good example, but you want to play it. You want to play it for Breath of the Wild first because Tears of the Kingdom it's like watching Two Towers and then watching Fellowship of the Ring. You gotta do the first one first.
So Metacritic has Super Mario Odyssey as number 2, and it's actually got an equal score of Breath of the Wild. And the House of Fata Morgana? Never even heard of that.
But it has a Metacritic score rating of 96.
Yeah.
It's a game that was released in 2021. So
yeah. Number 4 is Tears of the Kingdom. 5 is Portal Companion. 6 is Tetris Effect. Never heard of that one either.
Just another Tetris game.
Yeah, I figured that much. Tetris. And number 7 is Metroid Prime Remastered. 8 is Persona 5 Royal. 9 is Hades, another game never heard of. And then number 10 is Divinity Original Sin 2.
Another game that's on a lot of stuff.
We just talked about Hades with was it Xbox, I think?
Hades is on a lot of systems.
I've heard really good things about Hades, and I've also heard the Persona series is really good, but I've never played any of them, so I can't really pick it up.
Wait until you see the bottom 10.
Yeah, I'm getting there. So the very bottom game, number 2008, is Verum in the Night Sky.
First of all, I didn't know they had 2008 games for the Switch.
Right?
Right? Yeah, I know. That's a ton.
There is one that kind of surprised me that's in the bottom. Number 2006 is Ark.
I've heard
it's really bad on the Switch.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, honestly.
I mean, it is a Switch.
And there's most every one of these games I've never heard of. The Elder Scrolls Blades, that's just a mobile game.
Nickelodeon Kart Racers on the bottom of the list.
A Contra game on the bottom. I'm actually kind of surprised. It must be another one of those runs terrible on the Switch because that Hello Neighbor game is actually really good on PlayStation. Like I like it on PlayStation. It's kind of kind of a cool game. So I was kind of shocked that one was in the bottom. A lot of
Yeah,
these I'm not really shocked by though.
Blades of Time,
Carnival Games,
Arc of the Alchemist.
Scribblenauts.
A lot of the big name games that we're seeing at the bottom of this list, they're all just like you said. They're all buggy, crashes a lot, stuff like that for the Switch.
Wonder if that's the Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, the definitive edition's way down toward the bottom too.
And Elder Scrolls games at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Blades. That's that mobile game they did,
Mm-hmm.
which wasn't that great.
There's a Leisure Suit Larry game. Wow, can't talk. Near the bottom.
Hey guys, guess what game I'm about to buy?
Hmm.
That came out in 2018 and I did not realize it. Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it, and they actually upgraded the graphics. Well, they didn't upgrade it so much, but they gave it more frame rate.
Yeah.
They redid the sound and music of the game. They added 2 new dungeons to it. They added more tech moves and combos to the game. And
Pretty
they
sure I have
added
that on Steam.
autosave. So I
I'm
am
pretty
going
sure
to buy
I
it.
have that on Steam.
How's it been out for 5 years and I did not know, or more than that? 7 years, I have not known about it.
I didn't even know it released on there.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain it's in my Steam library.
Yeah, I'm going to play the snot of that when I get a moment to do so. I've got too many things on my plate at the moment, but
Yeah.
it's going to be there.
My problem. Too
So
much to play.
the original unaltered Star Wars is coming back to a theater for the first time in over 47 years.
Unaltered?
Kicker of it, yeah. It will only be shown at British Film Institute's Film on Film Festival in June and will be the opening screening of the original Technicolor print, one of the few
Nice.
left in existence. The last time that was shown was December of 1978.
Yeah, and it's heartbreaking to hear that because I was reading an article about it, and if you ask George Lucas, the version he wanted was the remastered version,
Well,
where
yeah.
Han shoots second.
Those hot shot first.
Exactly.
I haven't seen the original movie in ages.
I haven't seen it since the late '80s, early '90s.
It doesn't exist anywhere anymore.
Unless you have it on VHS, the original VHS.
I used to have all the original VHS trilogy. I don't know what happened to it. Dang.
That'd be fun to watch again. So one topic that was brought up, and actually it was suggested by AI, which is the best part.
I know, right?
It is AI hurting or helping nerd culture. And they brought up a couple of examples of it, saying that many people in the nerd world are using it to write D&D campaigns, to do artwork for characters, to do various things for their D&D campaigns, and even create like little mini games for it.
And what bugs me about this whole thing is what's happening is what everybody was worried is going to happen. It's starting to happen. AI art is pretty much starting to take over because of its ease, real art.
Yep. Do enough prompting, you can get something what you want.
Mm-hmm. But I think in the terms of this, I think it's more hurting the nerd culture than it is helping.
Do explain.
I would say I agree with Rook that it hurts the nerd culture because I think it's taking away people's creativity. Why do people need to be creative if they could just have AI be creative for them?
Just like the way I look at it is in this term, and I don't mean to step on you, Archon. If you look into it, like Archon says, it's taking away. It's starting to create a less creative society in the nerd world, in the same sense that you see critical thinking going to the wayside in the world these days. You're seeing creativity lean more towards using AI instead of people trying to tap into their imaginations and coming up with these ideas.
I mean, that's it in a nutshell. Plus, you're putting a lot of I can't even tell you on Discord in the last 2 months how many random messages I've gotten from people saying that they're artists who are looking to do work for people because they can't find work anymore, and do we want anything for the podcast and things like that, because why would you hire somebody to do your artwork for you when you could just have AI do it for free? You just run an AI program, bam, you got your art. Like, what do you need to hire somebody for? And
Mm-hmm.
like, it's getting. I'll use a bad movie example. It's getting to be like, gosh, wow, blank. What's that movie? Wall-E. Where pretty soon we're all just gonna be
Wally.
floating in around in chairs, letting the world run itself for us because we can't think for ourselves because we don't need to think for ourselves. We don't need to draw for ourselves. We don't need to come up with our own D&D campaigns because we can have a computer run our D&D campaigns. And then at that point, what do you even need a DM for? Because you could just have the AI be your
Okay,
DM. And it's like,
I'm gonna step in there real quick. There are already AI DMs out there.
Oh
I
yeah.
know, that's what I'm saying. Like, pretty soon we're going to become like,
Yeah.
sadly enough, this is already becoming this culture because I watch my kids, and my kids would rather sit there and watch YouTube videos or Twitch videos of people playing video games than play the video games. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And the issue I
It's
have with AI is if you use it for ideas to help you come up with ideas, like how you used it to find this article, it's great because it gives you the idea, but then you expand on it with your own creativity and your own thoughts and all that stuff. Awesome. It's good to get your foot in the door, but don't let it do everything. Don't let it make a complete D&D campaign, which I hate to say it, when you play a D&D campaign and you look at one that was written by somebody and you look at one that's AI generated, the AI generated, I've heard people say the AI generated ones sound or feel soulless, and they really do, because you
they are.
the AI doesn't put the feeling into the characters or into the world setting that a person does.
I mean, I find useful things with it. Like when I did just search it for topics, just for the for giggles, see what would happen. But I'm also considered doing. I did a little test bed. I had Grok AI do an edit of my first chapter in my new book for grammar and punctuation, spelling, that kind of thing, and it did it very, very well. And within seconds.
Then you're taking jobs from an editor.
Yeah, a job I can't afford to pay.
Oh, yeah, true.
And to be fair, I love Joe's first book, but his editor did a terrible job.
Yeah.
They did
Well,
the
the
AI
original
probably
book-
did a better job than than his
See,
editor.
I'm
The
worried
original
about
book
AIs.
was edited fantastic, but when I went and switched over to Amazon, they just did a generic dump into it and wrecked it.
The one I have is an actual physical copy. It's not
Well, I
the
know that's what I'm
Amazon.
saying. You have the Amazon version. You don't have the first.
Oh,
Came out from Aloris Publishing.
I will not trust editing of any kind from an AI only because of Starfield Brawl. And only because it seems to think I had an exhilarating encounter with that rock doctor.
That's the thing is, I would not
oh,
trust AI for content edits, because there's three stages of editing. You have your spelling, grammar, you have consistency, you have your continuity. The continuity edits, I would not trust AI to do.
But sadly, there's probably some authors and people out there that would use AI, and that's hurting the culture. It for the not for the punctuation and grammatical edits, but the content edits. I have a friend of mine who's trying to do a graphic novel, and he's using AI art for it. Granted, he's not an artist, so he has to have something to fill in the void while he's coming up with a story. At some point, he's going to need to find a true artist to actually do the art for the graphic novel.
Yeah.
see, that's the thing with AI is you can use AI to find stuff. That's easy enough. An AI doesn't know what's good content. Like an AI isn't going to know if this book sounds good or not. An AI is just going to know if it's grammatically correct and if the sentences make sense. It's not going to know if the sentence makes sense and is good.
What if you're trying to write a character who can't speak well, who can't articulate well? and you have AI try editing that content, it's going to create a
Well, that's why you
well-written
have your
version.
AI do suggested draft. You don't do it. Have it actually do the corrections. Like every time when I had my editors doing my book, they would send me one chapter at a time of their suggested edits,
Mm.
and it was up to me whether I included them or not. But yeah, when it comes to like something like fantasy novels where I had a character in my original book that had a different way of speaking, and I think AI would have a problem with that. You said it was accented, so it's different. That's why I'd have the AI just do edit suggestions and not do the actual edits.
I think Rook kind of hit the nail on the head when he said like when you have something made by a person as opposed to something that's made by AI, the AI just feels soulless. It doesn't have that human element to it, and you can tell. You could feel it.
I've read some stuff from Chat GPT that would be really hard to distinguish from a person writing it, but when you actually read it and start thinking and imagining the world, it's like something feels missing when the AI is trying to explain something. But sometimes a human author not going into extreme detail on something is great because it leaves room for your imagination to pick it up. Versus when an AI writes something, doesn't leave it vague a lot of the times. It will try explaining something to where you can picture the perfect image in your head.
Right.
Is what I've read. Like I said, AI to help you come up with ideas, great. As long as you execute the idea and not AI execute the idea.
I think AI has its place for different things, especially in the realm of research
Yeah, helping you find topics and stuff. Yeah,
and
that
doing my
helps a lot.
spelling and grammar edits. It's going to save
Yeah.
me a buttload of money, and I can't afford to hire an editor, or I would.
In that case, yes, but when it comes to nerd culture, I think it relying too heavily on AI for filling the creative void is hurting nerd culture.
Well, I think in some cases, like say you want to just do a picture of your D&D character, and you are not an artist, you don't know an
Mm-hmm.
artist to do it. I think generating an image for yourself for your character is fine.
So that's fine because you're not impacting anybody else but yourself. But I'm talking about the large scope of campaign guides and stuff like that, and graphic novels and whatnot.
I was just trying to get the fact that there is small ways that it is useful, even in nerd culture. But the overarching, yeah, I agree with you guys on that. It's gonna definitely be more harmful than good.
If we were talking about is AI hurting or harmful or hurting or helping nerd culture and the grand scheme of things was everybody just using it to get ideas to do basic and stuff edits and stuff, I would say it's helping in a big way. Too many people are relying on it to make the entire content. So speaking of that, I want to jump into a topic I didn't list in our last few minutes.
Okay.
uh, Hasbro, because I go up, I have a Saturday gaming group. We play Pathfinder, but it's been coming to our. We've been talking about it a lot. Hasbro has been struggling lately. A lot of the creative branches have been taking massive hits, except for Magic, because you got to buy Magic every week.
Yeah.
But they've been taking a lot of hits lately. Took this article I was reading 1 year ago. They took a $1.29 billion hit from their
That's not
revenues
small.
as everything's. Well, it's because D&D, while it's becoming more and more popular, a lot of people aren't buying the books, all the paper books and stuff, because everybody's playing virtual tabletops. So
Right.
I think the virtual tabletop has actually brought D&D together, the gaming community together, but at the same time, it's hurting the creator of the product because nobody wants to buy the hardback books right now.
Plus, I mean, you can find all the books and stuff online really easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Toy manufacturing is taking a huge hit because nobody's really buying the toys anymore. But I
don't play
just,
with toys like they used to.
and for those of y'all who don't or behind in the times or don't really know why I'm talking about Hasbro in this aspect, is Hasbro is the parent company to Wizards of the Coast, the creators of Dungeons and Dragons
Yep.
and
Magic the
Magic
Gathering.
the Gathering. So they did note sales in its Wizard of the Coast and digital gaming segment did grow, but not enough to offset the other losses that they're taking everywhere else. And I believe they're starting to lose sales in their books right now for obvious reasons. But I want to see gaming and D&D keep going on the rise. I want to see more options than just D&D, and so I hope they don't mess with their OGLs again.
Yeah,
I
we'll see.
actually like it's brought like one of our groups at my church brought this up today. They were talking about how like they're a group that goes to or prisons and stuff and talks to the inmates and stuff, and they said that they're like building a chapel at this prison because their library that they had there, they rid of all of the books in the library, and everything is now on like computers. Like you can go in and read everything you need to like on the computers, and they have tablets and stuff. Like they don't even they took all the hard copies of all the books out. Like you could see like the way that movement's going. I could see that affecting things like, you know, Wizards of the Coast and stuff too, because if people are getting away from having hardcover copies of things, then they're not making sales.
I saw this coming a long time ago, especially when PDFs start and ebooks started to become a big thing. Just because when I can carry 5 or 6 books in this little phone versus having a backpack that weighs 50 pounds hanging from my shoulders.
It's like my kids and stuff, they don't bring home books really from school. They have their Chromebooks that have everything they need on them. Like they just getting away from all digital now.
Yeah, it's just the way the world's evolving. I mean, Star Trek has books, but there's not very many of them. It's mostly on pads. Like Jean-Luc Picard is the only one you see constantly reading a book. By the way, back to Oblivion, they kept the original voice actors and the voice acting and just fixed it, which is awesome. Because when the game kicks in, you hear Sir Patrick Stewart and his voice, and it's like, ah.
Yeah, we were talking about that. It's the second game I played where he plays as a king in a game.
But then, like, the biggest spoiler in the world is you find the first guy that you go to find, and he's voiced by Sean Bean. And anybody who knows anything about fantasy or anything knows that if Sean Bean is the voice, he's probably going to die at some point. So don't get too attached to this character.
And that's a lot of times the characters you get attached to.
I know, right?
It was my son's thing all growing up. Because every character he's ever liked in any movie, TV, book, always died.
Well, I remember the first time I watched like Game of Thrones, the first episode I saw, I was like, man, I really like his character, but I know he's gonna die at some point. And sure enough, it's like every time he gets arrested or killed in every single thing he's in. It's like it's well known.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap up this episode right here. If you guys want to reach out for advertising or anything business related, the best way to do that is podcastraw@gmail.com, our email address. If you want to just reach out to us and talk to the community and hang out in a fun, interesting way, discord.gg/raw podcast will get you to our Discord server. Come on in, join the rest of us. It's the place to be. Our X is at Podcast Raw. Our Facebook is Raw Podcast, and our Instagram
is Raw Podcast 1, and look for more content coming soon.
Heard it here. Follow us individually as well. I am at The Widget, TheWigit, everywhere.
You can follow me everywhere at some variation of Tomcat213 or Rook213.
You can find me pretty much everywhere as the Archon 606.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody, and have a fantastic nerdy week.
Stay nerdy now, you hear?
Have a great week, guys.